Good morning, everyone. Okay, when you're having a good time, you forget how fast time runs. So, good afternoon. Chief guest, Dr. Ida Odinga, Governor Oparanya, all members of Parliament present, principal, head teacher, BOM, teachers, parents, pupils, and students. I'm told there's the distinction. Pupils are in the primary and students are in the secondary. And all protocols observed. Thank you all so much for taking the time to be here today for the opening of the libraries. It really means a lot to our incredibly talented key team, some of whom have worked tirelessly on these libraries and are here today. I now wish to introduce, or at least mention by name, some of the individuals. Here with us is Nyakundi James. He is our head librarian and in charge of information, training, and technology training to meet the needs of students and teachers. Christine? Here is Christine Simani. She's in charge of book collections and project management. And here is Richard Chepkonga. We are also here with Jaiga Koske, who are part of Key's technical team. I want to say that your very large presence here today, for which we're so grateful, also has a double significance. First, we stand together in the belief that every child deserves to have quality and affordable education, which is key to a child's progress and potential, regardless of the child's background. Second, we're witnessing together the quality and effectiveness of action by public-private partnership on education through school libraries and how children will benefit from the impact. And income, hopefully, that the community and the children themselves will generate in the future as a result of it. I'd like to tell you 3 short stories, mine and 2 others, to give context to Mulwanda's libraries. Here's my story. I've been involved with libraries for over 15 years. And the reason for this is that I worked as a volunteer in my younger daughter's school library 17 years ago. And during that experience, I learned and I came to understand the relevance of school libraries in strengthening our children's education and civic learning. This understanding has motivated me since then, over the past 15 years, to provide 17 libraries. 1 in Tanzania, 1 in Ghana, and in Kenya in 12 counties. Nairobi, Kiambu, Narok, Meru, Isiolo, Nakuru, Lamu, Nandi, Kajiado, Turkana, Elgeyo Marakwet, which is my home county, and now I'm very happy to say in Kakamega. These libraries at Mulwanda were born out of friendship and respect, and as Philip has mentioned, the enthusiastic nudge of Dr. Ida Odinga's daughter, Rosemary Odinga, and Philip's complete commitment to see them built. And once Philip Arunga, I'm not sure, for those of you who don't know him, I thought I would let you know that once Philip Arunga commits to do something, he does it wholeheartedly and sees it through right to completion. So thank you, Philip. So I'll just tell you very briefly about our libraries. They're designed to meet with Kenyan objectives, We ensure that our measures are compatible with community and national interests, and that they're built to international standards. I will now tell you 2 stories that illustrate the possible opportunities of such libraries if they get the full support of the county, the teachers, the school, and the students' teachers. But first, I'd like to share 2 facts that also fully support what I heard, and I mentioned to Dr. Ida Odinga earlier in the library, her comments during the fundraiser for the resource center at Ogande Girls School. And that is that reading and proper education are a social equalizer, and a very great one. Research shows that reading alone is a greater influence on the academic achievements of students than the level of their parents' education. Research also shows that reading has been shown over a 20-year-long study to completely eliminate the negative effects that poverty can have on education. So the second story I'd like to tell you is about a boy that I know called Victor Mutai from Rift Valley. He was an orphan whose early life had minimal opportunities and little to no hope. He was hungry most of the time and frequently sent home because there were no fees. But one day, one of his friends in the village came home with a comic book. The friend's father had a job in Nairobi and bought the son a comic book. It was the only book that was available in his village. Victor was enthusiastic and looking for things to do. He read the book cover to cover over and over again. And one day he said to his friend, "This boy in the comic goes to the moon, so I'm going to do the same." And people mocked him, but a teacher took pity on him and said, "You know, Victor, I think you can realize this dream if you study very hard." So Victor took that very seriously. He had no hope. But that gave him hope. It also gave him optimism and passion to do well in school. It also gave him the strength, focus, and discipline that comes with a mission to succeed despite the odds that were stacked against him. With this drive, he got top marks. He got into a top secondary school. He got into Yale University, which is the top university in the world, and he studied physics and astronomy there. When he graduated, he got a very good job as a software engineer in the United States of America. I don't know what his dream is now, but one thing I think we can all be sure of is that his own children will never suffer the hardships that he did as a young child. The third story I'd like to tell you is about 2 Form 3 students at St. Patrick's Boys Secondary in E10. They read a book in a library that we provided to the school that is similar in terms of resources to the libraries here today in Mulwanda. And they read a book on husbandry, which is taking care of animals and crops. The book inspired them to do more research in the library, which they did. And it ended up inspiring them to make an animal feed making machine. With this machine, these 2 boys won the National Science Prize that year. And the impact for their families is that they can now make feed for their animals more cost effectively and even sell some of it. Finally, pupils and students, this library is now part of your story. Today, we adults, including your leaders here today, your parents and teachers, are here to support you and encourage you to transform your knowledge from these libraries into power, and to use that power to transform your community. to use that power for legitimacy to do whatever you want with your life. To use that power for each one of you to dream big, to be a person who moves and a person who makes things happen. To use that power to lead and say to the rest of the world, we, the students of Mulwanda, are coming. We're encouraging you to do this because the future belongs to you, the youth. And we need great leaders in all fields to build a better world for us. And we're investing in your education so that that can be you. Thank you all, and may God bless Mulwanda Secondary and Primary and the community.